Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to introduce to you an undefeated fighter. You probably know him before, though. He had a K1 kickboxing career. You know that, big horse. He a pro MMA fighter. We know that as well. But in the ring, he's fierce. He's furious. He's feared. People like James, Tony, and Mike Tyson, they've all worked out with him, and we had to get him on BridgeBizness because he's doing a lot of amazing work outside of the ring. Please welcome James the Beast Wilson.
Come on, man. Beast mode or no mode, baby.
Come on, man. Come on. Man. Jay, how you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm tired.
Okay. What you been doing?
Training, man. You know, we training hard over here, man. So, no, all is well, though. I can't complain, man. God is good. We're alive, we're healthy, we're here. And, yeah, I'm blessed, man.
When I was freestyling my introduction, you know, these things I say is true. You know, a lot of people fear you. You know, they watch your style. I know for a long time you had a comparison. People were comparing you to Mike Tyson, you know, in your style. How does that make you feel, you know, as a boxer, knowing that, man, you know, these people fear me so much, it might even be hard for me to get fights?
Oh, it has been, though. That's real. I mean, it's an honor. I mean, Mike is a living legend. Yeah, I mean, I was blessed enough to be able to spend time with him and have him show me some things, man. And but at the end of the day, I'm me. You know what I mean? I got a lot of similarities to Mike because as far as heavyweights, we both on the shorter side of that spectrum. You know what I mean? We're both explosive, powerful, shorter heavyweights, and we come to get in your ass. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I'm me. I bring my own flavor, my own style, you know? So, yeah, that's why it's beast mode, baby.
Okay, I like that. Beast mode.
Beast mode. Hey, you know, beast mode, you know, being a boxer, first you came in as a kickboxer.
Right.
How's that transition for you? Like, you know, how is it like, you know, first you're using your legs and then you're not using your legs and it's just strictly feet. Is that hard for you to adjust? Does that take a long time to get used to?
Well, when I first started, actually I think the kickboxing helped me doing the kickboxing MMA because the angles are different. Because usually when we're punching, the punches are different because we were on the kick after, or we're punching off of the kick. So I think because of that, my footwork is actually better than a lot of guys who've done only straight boxing their whole life. You know what I mean? Because the angles and shit that we have to take because there's no kicks. So actually that helped me transition over.
So question, what's harder? What hit harder, a kick or a punch?
Oh, ain't nothing gonna hurt like a kick. Ain't nothing like having that shin. There ain't no comparison.
But you know, I watch what is it called, Muay Thai fighting, kickboxing, and then also I work for Viacom, and at one point Viacom took over ownership of Bellator, and I went and watched some MMA fights in Atlantic City once. Right. And up close and personal, this is way different from boxing. And one of the things I noticed is the damage that, you know, mixed martial artists take to the body. You know, the perimeters, the range of scoring is different. You could hit people from head to toe. And I thought that maybe that would be a disadvantage for you transitioning because has that worn out your body at all?
Nah, I'm good. You know what? Man, my body has been more beat up for playing football than it is boxing. You know what I mean? But of course, we just run into each other play after play after play. But like MMA and boxing, of course, MMA, we got everything. So you're not just focusing on one thing like boxing. That's why it's mostly a lot of head damage because all you can do is punch. For MMA, you can mix it up. They got guys who can't really, you know, punch good per se, so they use their legs a lot. You know what I mean? So, pick your poison, shit.
Pick your poison.
You know?
Pick your poison. Man, I want to talk about one of the things I think make you really fascinating is your backstory. You know, and reading about what you went through, being homeless, being chased by police officers as a 13-year-old after a robbery and thinking in your head, I hope I get caught. So at least that way I could get 3 square meals, a bed, and a roof over my head. Can you talk about your childhood, where you grew up and what that environment was like? I know you didn't have your dad in your life. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, like a lot of inner city minorities, man. I grew up in a single parent home. I'm from South Central. I'm from LA, born and raised. So that our culture, our LA culture, is what I grew up in with. You know, you go gangbang, you go play sports, you go do what you got to do to survive. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. I came from a single parent home. My mom did the best she could, but it's 5 kids. You know what I mean? And kudos to her. You know what I mean? Strong woman did the best she could, but it just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Boys need their fathers. They need that strong male role. And for me, that came in the form of the streets. So with that, everything else came along that comes with that street life. You know what I mean? And we got to a point where we homeless and we sleeping in cars, we sleeping in motels. I'm taking showers in recreation parks and sleeping on park benches. And this is as a kid. Everybody else, you know, they get to go home to their family, have dinner, sit at their table. You know what I mean? Have a bed to sleep on. I didn't know what it was like to sleep on a bed as a teenager.
Wait, hold up. Oh, you can't just say that and just let that go, man. You didn't. Never knew.
Real talk.
You didn't know what it was like to sleep on a bed as a teenager. So you went your childhood without sleeping on a bed.
I spent a lot of my nights sleeping in a car, in a motel, on a park bench, and at times where we did have a place to stay, a house, I still didn't have a bed. We was on the floor. It was just that type of struggle. You know, we came from the food stamps, from the government cheese, the government peanut butter. That's what it was. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm like, I got to do what I got to do to make sure my siblings eat, to make sure my mom eat. And I went out there and did it. You know what I mean? It don't matter what it was. So if I had to go knock somebody upside their head and for we could eat tonight, then that's what we're going to do. Well, at the end of the day, you know, I don't regret nothing that has transpired in my life, because all that just forms you into who you meant to be later on, you know. And getting arrested, I got arrested multiple times as a kid. I was facing 12 years, and I remember I had a public defender, and I don't know what she saw in me, but she worked it out where I end up having a choice to go to camp or go to a group home. So for me, it's like, I'll take the group home. I'm doing way more time going in the group home, but at least now I got some structure. You know what I mean? I get to have a roof over my head. I get to have 3 square meals. I ain't got to worry about having to go out and hustle where what lick I'm about to go hit, who house I'm about to go run up in. You know what I mean? So, you know, being locked up, that was one of the best things that actually in hindsight ever happened to me, you know?
Being locked up was the best thing that ever happened. That sounds, you know, it sounds so ironic, but that's real as hell at the same time.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. It's just funny the way things works out. Like at the time, it's like, you don't want to be here. I'm in a house with 20 other boys, and you know what I'm saying? You know, girls here. We being told what to do. You can't talk on the phone. You got to wear this color. You can't cut your hair a certain way. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got the PO coming. But man, I'm glad that shit happened. Yeah, you know what I mean, that I'm thankful for it. For sure.
Hey B, so going through all of that, is that where you got introduced to boxing, where you had the love for boxing when you was in a group home? And did you find that like a way out? Like Mike Tyson had a similar story to yours. Like he went to a group home and then Customato came through and he just, you know, he saw something in Mike that he saw. Is that a similar story like you, that you started falling in love with boxing?
You know what? Mine came later on. What kind of helped to pave that way was actually football first. Because once I got locked up, sent to a group home, so now we had to go to school, take forces, or we was going back to juvie. So that's when I started to have to get good grades and get introduced to playing sports. And oh damn, I'm pretty good at this. You know what I mean? And from that, I ended up getting a full scholarship, playing out in West Virginia, and just kind of piggybacked off of that. But that was like the foundation, you know what I mean, of that structure and that hard work and that shit that's in here that drives you, you know what I mean? And later on, when I, you know, finally decided I was done playing ball, I was like, I want to do something different, you know what I mean? And that was it. I was like, let me tap into this. I mean, you never know what you're capable of until you step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I took that chance, and it started with MMA first. And I went on, I found me a dojo, and went from there. Started doing some amateurs and came on to be the California State Heavyweight Champion. Shit just took off from there.
So with the path going through the dojo, like you said, so dealing with karate, dealing with that, did that teach you meditation and learn how to deal with your anger? Learn how to control your anger as far as meditation and, learning the way of that, because that was something that you had to live that life right there, right?
Oh, so yeah, absolutely. That for sure. Because, with that whole aspect, it's all about being in control of yourself. You know what I mean? Being relaxed. I mean, one thing my high school football coach used to tell me all the time, you run the ball like you angry. And I was. I was angry as hell. I was angry at my mom. Why are we in this situation? I was angry. My brother got murdered. I was angry for so many reasons. And he's seen that the way I ran that ball. You know what I mean? I carried a lot of anger. And as a youth who has no real positive male figure to look up to, I didn't know where to put that into. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then once I let it out, ain't no coming back from that. It's not coming out in the right way. So, and that's what helped me become successful on the field by translating all that anger and all that rage that I had inside, being mad and hurt from all the shit I was going through. Why me?
Yeah.
All these other kids is good. Why I got to do this? I'm a teenager. I shouldn't have to go through that. I should be living a regular teenage life. But it is what it is, But yeah, definitely that martial art aspect helped me to tame that and know when to turn it on, when to turn it off, be in control. Absolutely.
You mentioned football, and I want to go back to high school. You went to John Marshall High School?
Yeah, I went to like 5 high schools.
Oh, damn, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
We was around. You know what I mean? Okay. I mean, a combination of being a knucklehead and also, I mean, that was just, we was never in one place at one time. We was on the go. I don't know what it was, but we was never stuck in one place. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went to 5 high schools.
You went to 5 high schools. I know when I first moved, I'm from Oakland, and when I first moved to LA in the early 90s, Beast Mode, you might not understand when I say early 90s, you might go like, well, damn, Sway, how long you been around? So we won't, you listen, man, we won't go there.
All right.
will.i.am went to John Marshall High School. I grew up with will.i.am. When I went to LA, the first house I had was on Fernwood off of Los Feliz.
Okay,
in that Silver Lake area. And
Silver Lake, Griffith Park. Yeah.
Griffith Park, that whole area, man. And yo, when I first moved out there, man, I was looking around. I'm from Oakland. We didn't have, red and blue, when I was growing up. You didn't have to pick sides. You wasn't forced into any situation or felt like the need to do it. But I did see a lot of activity out there. And I would imagine I respect, people's differences in that whole culture. You mentioned you was banging. How do you talk to your sons about that? Is that something that, you're trying to avoid your sons going down that path? How do you do that? Being someone who's lived that life?
Yeah, that's one thing I know, like, because of who I am and me being so involved with my kids, they would never have to experience any of the stuff that I had to go through. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So my thing is just keeping them focused, keeping them engaged and stuff. That's why they play every sport. They do every type of fight and they do everything. You ain't got time to do nothing else. You know what I mean? When everything that you need to know is coming, not from your teachers, not from what you learn at school, but for the person you coming home to. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of keeping them close by me. At the end of the day, they gonna hit that age where they start learning from their peers. Mm-hmm. And they gonna start looking and being interested in the stuff they see out in the world. But that foundation is key. Once that foundation is laid and early on, man, it's real hard. It's real hard to break that. So I'm just keeping them close, man, and keeping them engaged.
We got James the Beast Wilson with us. So I was talking to him, man. I feel like I'm speaking to a college professor, but in the back of my mind, man, I think this dude was a bully when he was growing up, man. I feel like he was a bully when he was growing up, man. Were you a bully, dude? Were you that guy?
You know what? I wasn't a bully, man. I wasn't. I was a real low key. I was a low key dude, man. I'm not one of those loud, running mouth people. I'm laid back. I'm real laid back, and because of that, you know what I mean. I was always respected. Sometimes people take the person that's quiet, don't speak too much as, maybe, no, because I'll get that ass. So, But yeah.
Hey, Beats, what made you say, yo, you know what? I want to fuck with the MMA. I want to fight in the MMA, not, regular boxing. I want to get into the MMA. Here's a guy that's from the streets. We with the hands and all the other stuff like that. What made you say, yo, I'm going to get inside that cage and start doing it? Did you do something underground before you got into that? Like maybe it was some underground stuff that you got into, a couple of bare knuckle fights and stuff like that you was doing, like Kimbo Slice and things like that?
You know what? Well, of course, we grew up fighting. I mean, that was just part of the norm. It was just for fun. We got to knuckle up with your homeboys. I mean, knuckle up with your siblings. That was just the way of life. So, and at this time, this is early 2000s. So this is MMA. UFC was real hot at the time. This is like the start of Kimbo Slice in the backyard, knocking everybody out. It's just so captivating. Everybody, oh shit! So I'm like, yo, I like that dude. I could do that. Okay. And that's one of the people who made me first start wanting to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, man, we got to talk about the obvious. You say beast mode or no mode, right?
Yes,
that's your mantra. And I got a brother up in the Bay that uses that same mantra, beast mode.
Right.
Marshawn Lynch. You know what I mean? What is the similarities? What is the difference? And have y'all ever met?
You know what? Me and Marshawn have not met, but I could definitely say it's the same mindset. What he does on the field, he don't take no plays off. He hit the ball wherever he's blocking, running. He goes, like he said, I want to run through your face. When I'm in the ring, when I'm doing what I do, it's 150%. I want my fist to go through your face, to go through your ribs, to go through your neck. I'm going to go through your sternum. I'm going through you. It's 150%, or we're not going to go touch it. We ain't going to do it at all. You know what I mean? So it's just that mindset of whatever I'm going to touch, whatever I'm going to do, it's going to be full force. You know what I mean? Period, point blank.
So are you preparing for a fight right now, the up and coming fight that you're preparing for? Because you work out hard. You work out hard every day?
Oh yeah. I never stop working. You know what I mean? Once stuff is locked down, signed in a contract, of course we turn it up a little bit because you don't want to burn out. But the work don't never stop. I'm in negotiation right now with closing a deal with Matchroom Eddie Hearn. So that's something that we got in the works. And once that's solidified, man, it's back to bang bang.
Bang bang.
Because I'm looking at a fighter like you. I love boxing, man, especially the heavyweight division. That's my division. I love that division. And I'm looking at it, I'm saying, I know you'll come through there. You're a wrecking machine, and I'm like, maybe in America, they might be on some bullshit. They might not want to give you this because of politics, this, that, and third. But if you came through the European way, hey, because you know why? Because you fought over in Europe before. You had kickboxing exhibitions over there in Europe.
Oh, yeah.
How was that energy over there? How did they treat the beast when they met the beast over there? They was treating you like a king.
It was amazing. It was like, you know what I'm saying? They all about, they love entertainment for one. They love heavyweights. Because they know when we come through, somebody getting laid down. You know what I mean? We're the show. We're the highlight. You know what I mean? So I'm not opposed to that. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I'm real interested in and open to this thing that I'm doing with Matchroom Eddie Hearn. So that might be the route. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, when I step in the ring, my hands will speak for itself. You know what I mean? I'm not the beast for no reason. You know what I mean? I touch you, there's a great chance that you going night-night.
Because there was a situation with Golden Boy. Whatever happened with that situation?
Right. Yeah, that just, you know what? For one, it just wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a good fit. I really don't think they really knew how to handle heavyweights. You know what I mean? They got a lot of smaller guys. And I finally was able to get out my contract. I requested a release like early of 2020, and I finally got it at the end of last year. So, no hard feelings. It just wasn't a good situation. So, I'm free and ready to go ahead and do my thing.
Let me ask you this about that too. First of all, on your website, you said you got a big announcement to make. Is that the announcement? What's that announcement? A big announcement coming?
When that black and white is done, I'm gonna put it out there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, so this is BridgeBizness, and I hear you talking about the black and white, and that means you talking about the terms, the contract, and the fit wasn't right with Golden Boy. And And I always hear boxers, like when you look at what's going on with T-Bud Crawford, with Terrence Crawford, even with Golden Boy, when Canelo Alvarez wanted to get out of the deal with Golden Boy and really went on record and really shitted on Oscar De La Hoya. And, you know, he was very vocal about it. And the deal they had cut with DAZN, which was like the biggest deal of his time, with 10 fights for $350 million or something crazy like that. You know, we come from the music business. Big Horse of Braveheart, you know, Queensbridge, you know, came up with Nas and all of them. I'm me. You know,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know what those contracts look like in music, man, but we always hear about the contracts, but we don't know what's in a boxing contract. Can you give us an example of like the Golden Boy contract? What was that like? What are the terms like?
Some bullshit. You know? That's the thing, man. People, it's crazy because it's so much more than just get in the ring and fight. It's not that simple. Yeah, I mean, I could go knock the world champion out right now, but that don't mean they're gonna let that happen. That they're not gonna sanction that. It's a lot of politics involved. It's a lot of constructional shit. I mean, like they want to control you. They want to control every aspect of you. Like we're the product. We're the ones making you money. There's no reason why any promoter or manager should be taking a majority of the pot, but we're the one putting our lives on the line. Makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, so and especially if you're not a promoter where you brought a fighter up and you invested in him and you did XYZ to make sure you got him to where he needs to be, but yet you want to run him dry, bleed him dry, and then not keep him active. It doesn't make no sense. A lot of sports to get guys and just put their ass on the shelf so they ain't gotta fight they guys against him. Like it's all type of weird, yeah. Like
wow. So they might sign you so you don't beat up their champ. You don't mess up their money cow.
Correct, but put you on the shelf and have you not active. Like it's all type of bullshit. So,
how much percentage do they take? Like if you make, let's say you made $100,000 for a fight, how much would you actually walk away with let's just say the deal you had?
Me personally, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up more than 15%. Me personally,
50 or 15.
15.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, we gonna do it on my terms, or there ain't gonna be no agreement. But a lot of promoters, they'll take 30% of a fighter's purse, 35%. Like it's ridiculous. So, and you know, I mean, it's a business. It's a saying, boxing is a business disguised as a sport.
Yeah,
and it's true. Yeah, for sure.
Being a heavyweight, I know Don King probably sinks you all types of gifts. He probably
he did. He did.
I like to say, I mean, Don King must have synced you everything. Like Beast, I need you over here, man. I mean,
he for surely did.
Had there been promoters that came at you that you just was like, it's not a good fit? Like I would do it. Like, you know, any of these top rank, you know, I'm surprised because, you know, the heavyweight division, they're missing somebody like you in the heavyweight division. I mean, we have a lot of tall fighters, you know, it's obvious a tall fighter is supposed to knock a person out like that. You know what I mean? They 6'6". They never had, exactly, you know, quite, you know, but they have a person like you that's coming in as a beast. You're showing your work every day. You're showing everybody that, you know what, you're better than good. You're going for greatness. You're striving for greatness. I feel like there's promoters out there that they should be stepping to you. I mean, I know, not even knowing, I knew Eddie Hearn would be some of the guy that should fit, you know, mess with you, come from the European side, because I know that, you know, you can go over there and snatch that from Joshua real fast. I know you look at that real, you know, like I said.
Man.
What is your ranking though? Far as you're 8-0 right now, are they ranking you right now?
I don't know where I'm at right now. I haven't looked at that in a minute, but I know the soon as the minute I get back in the ring, everything's going to skyrocket very, very quickly. And I think they'll be able to move me quick. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with Golden Boy, it was so fucking slow. Like, y'all get off your ass and do something, man. I mean, if you say you got the neck, first of all, we the heavyweights, we the show, we the money makers, man. You should be pushing that. And they didn't do that. But I think with these guys, they definitely will, and they'll get it. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like they're a fighter promotion. Yeah, I mean, they actually care about their fight. They want to see them active. They want to see them excel. Where some guys just don't give a shit. Let me get my cut, win, lose, or draw. I don't give a fuck. Let me get my cut, and you go on and do what you do. I mean, it's a cutthroat business. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
I noticed in this business too. I just want to know who's your trainer? Because I noticed that you get a little tip from here, you get a tip from there. Like, who's your trainer? Did you ever think about like a Kevin Rooney or one of them dudes that's used to, training, short fighters that's, fast and things like that? Or even Mike. Maybe Mike could just be like, hey, you know what? I'll come out of retirement to train you. Did you ever mention to Mike like, hey, Mike?
I would love that. Right. That'd be dope. I haven't though. I haven't talked to him about that. But that would be dope because right now I'm working with James Toney. So everybody people who know boxing, James Toney is one of the GOATs. You know what I mean? One of the masters of the shoulder roll, defensive master, counter master. So out the gate, naturally, that's not my style. You know what I mean? I'm more of the Tyson style to come forward in your ass pressure guy, but me adding both of those skills and then mixing it together, making my own style out of it, man, it's gonna be dope.
But they call it Tyson style, but they got Archie Moore that did the same style. They got Frazier that did the same style.
Frazier.
So it's just that come forward style that y'all got. That's all it is.
Yeah. And utilizing that head movement. Like you said, a lot of guys right now, heavyweights, they're all tall, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". After where back in the day, guys were, 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", but they were bangers. It was a different breed of heavyweights back in the day. And I really feel like the way the guys fight now, these tall guys, man, they pussyfooting. Like I'm not coming in here trying to box. I'm not trying to go 12 rounds. I'm coming to touch your ass up and go ahead and get my check and get on. You know what I mean? So I think that's definitely one of the benefits I have, that I bring sort of that lightning in the bottle back to boxing. You know what I mean? That we were missing for a while.
Mm-hmm. You're 8-0. Your first fight, that was a unanimous decision?
My first boxing fight?
Yes. Yeah. And then you had 6 KOs, right?
Right.
And then your last fight, that was a draw?
My last fight was a draw.
Do you think you're ready? Like, because you Horst just mentioned Anthony Joshua, we're talking Tyson Fury, Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder. Do you think you're ready for the big stage, or you need to get some more fights under your belt?
I definitely want more fights. I definitely want to continue to sharpen my tools up. Mm-hmm. I think a fight should always be more critical of himself than anybody. You know what I mean? You have this idea of what you want to look like, and it starts with you. So I know I got stuff. Listen, I'll tell you right now, these heavyweights, they can't move like I move. Mm-hmm. They big. If you're a heavyweight, you can hit. You got power. We all got that. But the way I move and my mindset and the way I hit is different than the rest of those dudes. It's different. And when you look at somebody like Deontay, who's knocking everybody out, right? Before Fury, nobody pressured him. Nobody went to the body. They all stood there in his range and got their ass cracked. No, we're not doing that. We coming to close the distance, to get in your ass. You got nowhere to go. Your ass gonna be in a box, and I'm gonna light your ass up. You know what I mean? So it's a process. You know what I mean? Like I say, trust the process. That's why I just stay working. I stay working, keep sharpening the tools, keep adding tools in the bag, man. And when the time comes, whether it's Anthony Joshua, Fury, Wilder, whatever, we're gonna make sure we're ready. You know what I mean? I think one of the main things,
I was gonna say, who would you like first? Like, don't forget Andy Ruiz Jr. either, man.
Ruiz.
Yeah.
Huh? Honestly, I think the huge fight would be me and AJ. And that's my boy. Like I like AJ, man. I think he's a good dude.
Hey, B, it's a good fight for me and you right now. I think it'd be a great fight. I think Jared Anderson. I think that
Anderson.
Yes, I think that Jared Anderson is a great start. When you go to AJ, he the top dog. I mean, everybody want food. You got to eat the
Absolutely.
food. But Jared Anderson is a ranked fighter that I feel like they feel he's up and coming, and he's undefeated. He has the same attitude as you feel, get the fight over with real fast, and he's trying to get ranked so he can get recognized. I think that's a perfect home, welcoming. Like, hey, listen, he's ranked. I come handle what I got to handle. Now we should be talking ranks. You know what I mean? Belts.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that'd be a great step for you.
Yeah. I'm not tripping. At the end of the day, whoever they can get to sign the contract, to get lined up, we go get in there and they go fill these things. And that's gonna be what it is. You know what I mean? So, of course, I know we're not about to get the Deontay's and the AJ's right now. It's a process. You know what I mean? So in the meantime, whoever they put in there, we go chomp on their ass, keep getting better. And when the time comes, that's it.
I know you're a fan of damn, man. Did that hurt when you did that? Did that hurt your own? You know, I know you're a fan, man. We all kind of, you know, I'm a couch fan of boxing. You know, I remember being a kid in the 70s, and my great uncle Silas used to watch Muhammad Ali. I saw them the Ali, you know, the Ali Frazier fight as a kid. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, and I remember seeing, you know, a lot of these fights, Spinks and Ali, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, Thomas Hearns, Marvis Hagler, all of these different guys. And it seemed like, I know it was big time politics back then, but what we're seeing in the welterweight division right now, to me, is tragic. It's tragic for boxing, especially when you got the UFC right here that's just drawing so much attention. You know, the best fighters aren't fighting the best fighters. What are your thoughts on that right now? What we've seen in the welterweight division? Everybody want to see Errol Spence Jr. fight Terrence Crawford. It's not gonna. It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen, and certain people are being overlooked. What's your thoughts on that?
It's crazy, man. Because I was just having this conversation. Yeah, when you look at all the GOATs back in the day, they all fought each other. Win, lose, or draw, everybody fought each other. They all lost because they all fought each other. They beat the shit out of each other. And now it's just like, it's the Mayweather effect. Nobody wants to take an L. Nobody wants that loss in their record. It's very unfortunate, and it's bad for boxing. You know what I mean? Because you don't get the best fighting the best. You know what I mean? Or they'll just wait and prolong it till one of them is out of their prime. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's still worried about, I can never lose. I got to keep an O. Man, fuck that. The greatest in the history of boxing has all lost. Yeah. They've all not only lost, they hit the canvas. Yes. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what I look at, bro. Like, fuck all that. If you take your L, you go in there, you fought the best. And if that wasn't your night, that wasn't your night. You know what I mean? But to run and not make shit happen. And it's also on the promoters too. You know I
was going to ask you, whose fault is it? Is it the fighters or the promoters?
Like, it starts with the promoter. It starts with the promoter. But at the end of the day, like, if I'm a fighter and I really want this guy, listen, we need to make this shit happen, or I'm getting the fuck up out of here, man. Like, hey, I think I'm the best. You think you're the best? Fuck it, we gonna fight. And the promoters are with it. This is what everybody want to see. And shit, the best fighting the best is more money. You get more ass and seats. You get more pay-per-view buys. You know what I mean? So it's just time. Time is different now, man. And as I call it, the Mayweather effect.
The Mayweather effect. Have you met Mayweather?
I used to train out in Vegas at his gym.
What's that like, bro? Like, when they talk about what they call that, the doghouse, and you know, what is that like?
That's real. That's real. Yeah, it's they go in there, they shut the clock off. Y'all, just a bunch of this going on, and you go get your work. Somebody go get punched out. At the end of the day, when it's all over, you know, it's love and respect. But yeah, you got to go in there and you got to go get your shit.
The Beast had some doghouse days in the gym.
Not too many. Whenever I'm in, so like Mayweather's gym is that whenever I'm in there, it's always all eyes on me. But I never had anybody press my, hey, I want to spar you. People ain't lining up to spar me. People ain't lining up to fight me. You know what I mean? Not to say, everybody's scared of it, but they just not lining up. Ain't nobody pressing the issue.
So let me. Do you think that the internet, being like Instagram and social media is so big, with you being on social media, you think that brought you to another level, like far as your presence on social media? Because not just being an athlete that you do great things. I love the way that you have your kids, and I think that when if a person is really into the beast, you should be into your kids. If you're a father, if you're really looking at this man's process and you're looking at the process, one thing he highlights is family. And those family values that you have is that. So you think because of the internet that your popularity has really grown? Like, that's why people see you and you be like, I don't want none of him, because they see what they see on the internet?
I would definitely say so. Of course, I mean, the way I fight is the way I fight. You know what I mean? But, we're in the age of the internet, so everything is more broadcast right in your face on a daily. So it's like, y'all see me working, y'all see what I'm doing, and I'm not coming to play. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna do this, then your ass better be 150% ready for what's gonna come at your ass. You know what I mean? Like you're saying with my kid, man, that's first and foremost. I mean, all the fighting and everything else, none of that matters if I'm not taking care of home first. You know what I mean? I gotta be invested into my sons, you know what I mean? To help make them the best humans that they can be. You know what I mean? That's my job first and foremost as a man. Fuck being a fighter, being an athlete, as a man, you know.
James the Beast Wilson is hanging out with us, future heavyweight champion of the world. Mm-hmm. You like how that sound? You see that? Yeah, he liked that. He didn't even blink when I said that.
The new.
Oh, man. Yeah. Listen, let me ask you a couple of questions. This is Bridge Business, and I read somewhere you have a degree in sociology. You don't hear that narrative at all in boxing. Boxers with academic degrees. First and foremost, that's congratulations. Yes. That's very impressive. Cool. So knowing your background, knowing how you grew up, knowing you came from a homeless environment, knowing the anger issues, group home, all the different things, you were still able to accomplish that. How big is that on your list of accomplishments?
Very, very strong-willed, very determined. When I put my mind on doing something, there's a very great possibility that it's going to get accomplished, that's going to happen, you know? So, yeah, you need to take a lot of will, a lot of perseverance, man, because it could have been a total opposite. It could have went totally left, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful.
Was it hard?
I'm going to say, yeah, just because, I mean, shit, I got so much other shit I can be doing. I can't be doing this. I can do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's so many things you can be distracted by that can make you just say, this ain't that important. You know what I mean? But one thing about me, I never want to not do something, then look back 20, 30 years, like, man, I should have just went on and, you know what I mean? Don't want to have no regrets. So
no
if
regrets.
you're able to do it, go ahead and knock that shit out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You have the organization, the nonprofit Bully Buster, you know, that you created and that you're working with, you know, disadvantaged kids, and you're giving them inspiration and you're feeding them information. And you know, you're trying to give them upliftment, you know, give them light, give them something to look forward to. What made you start that? And then how did that sociology degree help in building that Bully Buster foundation?
I was in a group home. You know what I mean? So one of the main things I do is always go to different group homes, foster youth, kids, probation kids, kids who's been bullied at school and whatnot, and to try to go back and like, yo, I was in your same situation. So, but like, they get in there, they're angry. I see me. That was who I was. You the kid, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, you're in the group home. You don't in the tunnel. You're like, man, fuck the staff, fuck this program, fuck my life right now. Only thing I got to look forward to is going to YA and then going to the pen. Starts with a choice. You have the decision to turn everything around if that's what you truly want to. And the thing is, it's not easy. It's not something that's just, the light's just not going to turn on all you. It's every day, it's a progress. Every day you got to make progress. It's a slow work every day.
In your book collection, if there was a book that you recommend that all Black men should read, what would that book be? Or one of the books it should be?
One of my favorite books reading coming up was The Art of War. I really love how you got to be in tune with yourself. You know what I mean? Because everything is mental. It all starts here. No matter what you do, no matter what your career path is, it starts with you. What you think of yourself in here, being in control of yourself, especially as Black men, man, like, we can't get triggered. I mean, whatever people do outside, we can't be in control of that, but we can be in control of self. You know what I mean? And if I can control myself, regardless of what you do, none of that shit matters. I'm not affected. You get no reaction out of me. You know what I mean? But I just knowing how to move, when to move, being in tune with yourself and knowing you. You know what I mean? One of the best things you can do is be in control of you. Because when you control yourself, you're not affected by nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this conversation in. This is dope. What do you think about the gang influence that you see in the rap industry now? Even the terminology, gang, 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 you know, gang, 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 you know. And then you see, you know, on IG and social media, you see these guys going back and forth, and then you seeing these guys get killed over it. Like, when you coming from that lifestyle, what are your thoughts about that?
See, it's I was born in the 80s.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's different now for people who's younger, newer, but shit is not a joke.
Yeah.
Shit is not a game. Okay. Like, there's also that other side. Yeah. Brotherhood, we got, you know, but there's also that other side. There also is a deep rooted of people losing loved ones. And yeah, I mean, for certain shit. And it's just not something to play with. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, somebody will hold you accountable. You know what I mean? And it might not be in the form of a verbal conversation, you know? So I really, I mean, it's just worldwide now. You know what I mean? It's influenced the world. But like, being from LA, growing up in the home, the mecca of it, it's not something you play around with. When
you hear your story, and we could hear and see your evolution as a young man into a grown man, and the things that you had to improve about yourself, especially your anger, you know, that you grew up with, and how sports and weights and all of those different things help you balance it. How did that work for you inside of your household, becoming a father, you know, becoming a husband? Was it difficult for you when it came time to settle down and build a family, to really blend into that mindset and be the father and the man to your woman that you wanted to be? How did that process work for you?
I mean, for me, it was quite. It wasn't difficult because I'm all about discipline.
Okay.
One thing about me, I mean, you can't be successful at anything unless you're disciplined. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be disciplined. So that's just the same thing that's trickled down to my kids, yo. Like, they're having that structure, being disciplined. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what it was. You know what I mean? Just everything that I had to go through, y'all not gonna go through it. So I'm gonna show you how to not ever have to experience that. And it starts from being disciplined, being in control of your motherfucking self. Having structure, holding yourself accountable. But everybody's not gonna hold you accountable. Nobody's gonna force you to do anything. You have to be in control of you. And if you don't, then there's a consequence for that. So
I want to know too, because you've been through all these different disciplines as a fighter, from K1 to Bellator and now pro boxing. You know, you haven't had the type of fights that's gonna make you rich yet. So when you're a boxer on the rise like yourself, how do you maintain an income? What are the main revenue streams for you to help you keep your household up? You know, how do you keep your business straight? What are some of the things you're invested in right now?
Yeah, so for me, you know, it's all about first fitness. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because whether you're a fighter, you play in NBA, NFL, whatever, you're an everyday mom, having your health together. You know what I mean? So does that aspect, a lot of sponsorships, promoters and whatnot, endorsements. So it's always continuously always working and investing. It's like I do a lot of camps with kids where I travel out, put on these camps for these kids, and, you know, making revenue, but still also giving back at the same time. You know, there's a lot of fighters, man, they have to work jobs while still trying to pursue their career. You know what I mean? I'm blessed and fortunate where, you know, what I do also pays me. You know what I mean? So on so many different levels, that's one thing. It's bigger than just being in the ring. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that shit gonna be going for all of us. There's a time limit. There's a time window on that, you know? So, and that's one thing, a lot of fighters, they gotta invest. They gotta when they do make money, they gotta put it in something, I mean, where you're paying yourself. Everything's coming back full circle. Because there's a lot of champions who die broke.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, it's the saddest thing to see too, because all of these champions have like been our heroes, and you look at a champion, you think they got it made, they got everything worked out. So those stories are all sad to me. And I saw the thing that you did with Make Fit, and I want to say Kate Hudson, over in the Make Fit. I know they got their chains, this fitness center. They got chains over in Europe. Was that a nice check?
Oh yeah. Give me another call. Yeah, that's what I do. A lot of that stuff, but all I did that. The Germany's Next Top Model, quite a bit of stuff, man. Fitness, that's a huge industry, and I'm blessed to have knowledge in that aspect, as long as fighting and a bunch of different fighting arts and everything else. So,
what about acting? Did you try acting?
Acting as well. I do a lot. I got a lot of nationals and new commercials like that. So eventually, I'll be having my own film. So, hey, it's all the process.
When I look at
tap into everything, you can't be one dimensional.
Can't be one dimensional, man. You got to, and then you got to embrace everything, because when you look at fighters like, Ryan Garcia, like similar to Oscar De La Hoya. What made them great is their fan base was so diverse. They didn't just have boxing fanatics. They had women who wanted to watch them fight. You know what I mean? And you kind of got that thing going, man. A lot of ladies are looking at you. It's almost like you a popular rapper, like you the Drake of heavyweights or something like that.
Something like that.
How do you embrace that? What is that like, man? Because I see people, I see you in interviews with, people see you as a sex symbol too.
Yeah. Hey, man, I take it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all good. I'm humble with it, though. I mean, shoot, I'm just be me, man. It's just who I am. I embrace it. Keep it coming. It's all good. Like you say, that's one thing, like you said about Oscar and Ryan. They got skill, but they also, they got the pretty boy smile, and you got that woman fan base. So you got to have it all, man. And that's for me. Like, I don't just have boxing fans. I have kickboxing, MMA, Muay Thai, NFL, NBA, regular people. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that diversity.
I like that.
Sure.
Yo, you want to get back in there, Horace?
Yeah. You ever get hurt? Like, 'cause you say you work out every day. When your body get recovery? When do you let your body recover? You don't let your body recover, never?
You know what? It's hard. It's hard to do nothing. I can't do it, So, I know I'll tone it down, you know what I mean? But I can never just not get a full on break. I got to be doing something, Yeah, but rehab is one of the most important things. Outside of training, you got to rehab. You know what I mean? Bring the body back. So,
are you a vegan and all that too? Like, you eat right?
I'm not. I love meat.
Okay.
I gotta have my steaks.
All right.
Straight carnivore.
I want to know. I'm like, is it everything? Like, I'm like, all right. I just wanted to make sure everything was right. All right.
Yeah. I got my protein intake, man.
Well, let me ask you this. That was a good question. About recovery. But have you ever been hurt in the ring? Has someone ever just rang your bell?
No.
What?
And no, I really can't say that I've ever had that experience. For one, I move my head a lot. I'm not gonna be in one spot where you're gonna. If you hit me, it's not gonna be clean. You know what I mean? So, and that's one of the things that make me unique with my head movement and the way I move. You know what I mean? So I haven't, unfortunately. Thank God, I ain't had that experience yet.
Hey, Beast, what's one of the weirdest shit that you ever seen fighting somebody in a different country? Like what was the settings? Like, was there anything wild? Like, dark? Like, was it dark? Was it crazy? Like, was there something in a different country? Like, you came out, it was like, it was one of the weird feeling? Or is it pretty much the same like America?
I would probably say Japan. And Japan, fighting in Japan when we did K1 for the championship. See, it's different because, Japanese are very respectful and very, So the whole stadium is silent.
Yeah.
Like, it's packed. We're in a stadium of 60,000 people in the sumo wrestling stadium, and it's completely silent. Like, out here, everybody screaming, going, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's completely silent. So you hear everything, rah, 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 and everybody's just silent. That would probably be the most unique experience I've had. That was like, I've never experienced that before besides in Japan.
Wow.
It's cultural, right? Because
yeah. It's like a respect thing. Yeah. That's, yeah.
I was in Manila in the Philippines the year that Pacquiao fought Oscar, right? Oscar De La Hoya. And I think he retired him with that fight. and it was amazing to watch this little guy just beat up Oscar. But I was at they got something called the I want to say the Great Mall or the big mall, and they had a movie theater. And I sat in that movie theater, and it was filled with, you know, people from the Philippines. And I mean, the entire fight, they just sat there. They didn't even, there was no noise. I mean, they didn't even applaud until the end. And I was like, it's cultural. And I also like the way they received me being a black man. You know, they were more intrigued and fascinated by, what are you doing here? Who are you? What do you do? Yeah. You know, I had my locks back then. So, you know, I was giving them that Marley vibe. I was killing them. Let me just add that in there. I was killing them too, beast. I was killing them out there. All right. And but how has your experience been traveling? Because I always try to tell my friends who grew up in Oakland, man, travel around the world. You have a whole nother experience than a lot of stuff we're feeling here in the States as black men.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I try to tell my black men, my black people, but you gotta go, man. Like, it's so much more outside of LA. Like, go, man. You gotta go somewhere, man. But it's always a warm welcome. Yeah. Like, everywhere, Romania, Germany, Russia, Japan. It's always, especially being that I'm a fighter, and they love that aspect. They love like that warrior, you know what I'm saying? But it's always respect, it's always love, it's always just very, like you said, they're very intrigued. You know what I mean? For one, I mean, we're black. You know what I mean? And we're from the States, and they're just intrigued with that. And it's always been love. You know what I mean? Nothing but respect. Nothing but respect.
Man, I'm looking forward to your next fight, brother. You know,
Me too.
I can't wait to hear the big announcement. You know, you're someone that Horace and I and Kelly have been eyeing, and think you have you have an awesome story. Your story is awesome. It's what you do outside of the ring.
Yes.
That's so awesome to me, man. And the way you raise those beautiful kids you have, you know, you're breaking a cycle, you know, that you had to grow up in. I can relate to that. Horace can relate to that. A lot of us as black men can relate to it. So we're in your corner, man. We're in your corner, champ. We're in your corner, man. Okay? All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for being on Bridge Business. Give it up for James the Beast Wilson, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you know who it is, your boy, the one, the only, the next heavyweight champ of the world. Huh? James the Beast Wilson, man. You know who it is. I'm here on Bridge Business with your boys, man, Horse and Sway, man. Stay tuned, baby. You know what time it is. Bow!